first question.
Hello, hi guys.
You're here at this YouTube video. You know what we're going to talk about.
I think so.
You think so? So please introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you doing? What have you been doing? What do you want to do?
Did you realize that like when someone says introduce yourself, this is like a very, very difficult question because you never actually know where to start.
But that's the point. You have the option to start anywhere you want.
Okay, my name is Mthokozisi Moyo. That's like literally, that's who I am. Like that is everything.
Okay, what are you doing?
But like, wow, I am a PhD candidate. I really don't like that PhD candidate part, but yes, I am currently doing my PhD at Wits University.
You can just say I'm a researcher.
Yeah, that too. But like, people don't know what researchers do, so.
What do researchers do?
They research. I know you can't use the word research in research, but like, yeah, that's what happens.
Okay, so we were chatting and you were like, you had like an unconventional journey. I'm thinking in your academic career.
Yes, in
Tell
life
us a
in
bit
general.
about that.
Okay.
Okay, so I will start. My academic journey, I just came to Wits. I did BSc because I got funding for BSc. Honestly, like that's the honest truth. And then I got into Apes because I didn't really like MCB. And then I liked Apes, and then I'm still here. Like that's me.
Wow.
And I like it. So
I wish
decided
my
to
journey was
stay.
so simplified.
So that's me. That's literally.
That
what
is so
it
linear.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't.
Why?
I feel like if I had an interesting story to tell people, they're like taken aback, like what?
No, but it's
Oh my
still like
God.
what? Like you knew what you wanted to do from a young age and like you went for it. Because unlike the rest of us, we had to kind of like find our way, and like I can say I accidentally stumbled upon this whole thing. Like I found myself here because of different circumstances.
Yeah.
I wanted to do chemistry. Like chemistry was like, I don't want to say my first love, but like that's where I wanted to be, right? But then like chemistry did not like me back. That's the problem.
Same.
So like first year I passed. Second year I did chemistry. Second year I was one of the few brave people that did that.
What?
I failed chemistry second year, but like at the same time I had Apes on the side, so I had environmental science
Oh, you were doing
and
a double
chemistry.
major.
So I didn't want to do two majors in the same school. I wanted to like keep my options open because like my plan was to do like something related to environmental chemistry at the end. Because like okay, I can go back. If I go back to like high school time, there's time I wanted to be a surgeon. There's a time I wanted to do engineering. There's time I wanted to do. I didn't want to do accounting. I could do accounting.
Your
I just
interests are
chose.
very broad.
I just chose not to do accounting. But yeah, I always wanted to be like do something in science. So that's why I did a BSc in the end. And yeah, I took chemistry second year, failed. Yeah, it's a very life-changing moment. Like dealing with failure for the very first time.
Like the whole of second year.
I
Like
failed-
you failed the year.
I failed a year.
Oh crap.
Yeah, I failed a year.
I
second
failed
year.
block 1 first year and I thought my life was over.
No, I failed the whole year.
Literally.
I failed the whole year. Like
Oh my god.
I still
Did
get
you
roasted
go back
for the
to
mark.
chemistry?
Yes, I went back to chemistry because like I had to finish it. Otherwise, I would have had to start another Apes major.
Oh,
It's still want to
yeah.
hold me back anyway.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't want to be stuck in one department because I was still not sure.
Options.
Yes, so I was
so-
keeping my options open. So I went back to chemistry like the following year. Like when I was doing third year Apes, I did second year chemistry, passed it second time. That was great.
How was the feeling?
It was amazing. It was wonderful. Like yeah, I finally like conquered that.
Yeah.
And then I decided to be brave and take third year chemistry.
Oh my gosh. Why?
So I went all the way. I told you I always wanted to do chemistry or something related to that. So I did third year chemistry and applied chemistry. I passed it the first time this time. So yes, I do have a chemistry degree, in case you're wondering. On top of one in environmental science, I
So
do
you
have
can legit
a
just do
chemistry
whatever
degree.
you want.
Yeah.
You can just switch up right now. And
I
be
can't
like,
say I remember all that stuff because like so many years
the thing
ago.
is you
but like
qualify though. if you
technically I
wanted
have the
to.
qualification. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the nice part.
So did you only apply to Wits and so like when it comes to
Okay, so you're going back to choosing first year.
yeah, like did you know you wanted to I mean you knew you wanted to do chemistry.
Not really. So first year I applied everywhere. Like I literally applied everywhere for everything. Like I applied for every single course you can think of. Like
Oh my god.
accounting, marketing, law, medicine, engineering, science, accounting science, quantity surveying. What did I leave out? You get the point, yeah.
So would you say you were interested in all of these things? You just wanted to see, like, I can go into anything.
Yeah,
But
like
I feel
I was just trying to keep my options open and like, what can I say? Like I wasn't sure what I wanted to do.
Oh,
So I
okay.
literally applied to every university in the country.
And
Okay,
then
not
how
every
did you come
university,
to
but most
choose-
universities in the country. And personally, I wanted to go to UCT. Like that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Just like everyone who's gone to school in Joburg wants to go to UCT.
Yeah,
But then like my mom's like, no, you're not going there.
it's too far.
It's too expensive. It's cheaper for me to be at home than
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
yeah, so that dream died. So they're like, oh, but Wits is equally as good. So here at Wits, here at Wits, I was accepted for BSc, quantity surveying, and accounting.
And then how did you choose BSc?
I didn't like accounting. Like I could do accounting, but I really didn't see myself like there
Yeah.
forever. Quantity surveying sounded interesting at the time when I was applying, but like I just like no, I'm not really into construction and all those kind of things. And like I've always liked science, so that's why I chose a general BSc because it gives you so many options. It's like flexible. You can
Yeah.
do so many things
Yeah.
out of that.
I think that's why I also chose it. I was like, the thing is, I was like, if I'm not gonna do medicine because I'm not sure if I want to commit to 6 years, let me do this thing because I can still go into medicine.
But you're still
later.
here 6 years later. almost.
Yeah, but I feel like now I'm like on my 3rd degree. It's unlike
Oh, so you
6
just
years
want to
and I
graduate?
Yeah, I just want to.
So you
like,
just want to see
I just want to
progress.
collect the papers. That's it. So going into 3rd year and finishing chemistry and apes.
Yes.
How did you then decide to do honors? Like, why? Which one did you fall into?
I
and
took
why?
Apes because Apes was the only one I qualified for.
You didn't qualify for chemistry
No.
honors. Did you want to do chemistry honors?
Not really. I just realized like the hardships I had faced. Like I was like,
Yeah,
can
like,
I
is
actually
it
take
worth it?
another year of this?
And it was gonna be like hectic.
Because like I
hectic.
barely passed it. Like you know, like oh, you just made it. So I
So
was like,
things
I was-
kind
I
of
was-
worked out.
I wouldn't say it kind of worked out because like at that point like I didn't really know what I wanted to do because even with applying for honors it was a thing that like okay now do I go out and look for a job or what like what happens at this point because
My thing with choosing honors was like, I'm not gonna find a job. So what's the point?
I didn't even apply like
Let
when I was
me
in
just
3rd year
apply for
I never actually applied for jobs. That's another weird thing. Come to think.
I
never
just told
applied for jobs.
myself,
I was just like,
I can't find a job.
no, you know what,
do
let me go to
honors.
school and because school is safer. Like there's also like a safe environment around school. Like there's
Yes.
also a fear of the unknown like being
Yes.
outside. That's another thing.
Yeah. And how did you find honors in apes?
I enjoyed it actually. It was lovely. My marks shot up. Like literally, like everything just went up.
Did you ever come across
like-
the perception from people, sorry to cut you off, going from undergrad to postgrad, or just taking apes in general, where people thought, oh yeah, people are just taking apes because apes is easy. And
Okay,
stuff
the
like
thing
that.
is with apes, most people really didn't understand. Okay, so that's the biggest misconception. People
Yeah.
don't actually understand what we do in the school of apes. And you see, when you say apes, already people are thinking of actual apes.
Yeah.
We have to actually call it out the way we see it.
Yeah.
School of Animal, Plant, and Environmental Sciences. Because if you say it like that, then now it has
They're
a
like
bit more.
apes.
It has meaning now. But if you say apes, it just sounds like
The thing is, it makes so much sense to us because we're used to it.
yes. So if you put it out that way, now you understand that it's not limited to there's animals, there's plants, there's
Yeah.
environmental science, and there's like so many things that you can actually do out of that. And you just realize that it's not a career that many people go into, if we're being honest. And like, not to bring race into it or anything, but like this is a very wide field.
It is.
So most of the time, like as black students, we do not know what to expect in it because most of the time the white students have everything figured out. They kind of know what's coming. We just take the courses as they are on the thing, or we just take courses just to fill up the time, but we don't even realize that you can actually build this thing
Yeah.
in such a way that it will help you when you actually do your postgrad. Because looking at myself right now, like some of the things that I'm doing currently is stuff I could have had a grounding in undergrad, but like I didn't do that because like I was
didn't
not
know.
sure, and like I didn't know that like you could do something like this. So yeah, choosing this perception of the school is very, I don't know, it's very weird explaining to people because people actually don't even know what you're supposed to, like what kind of job you're gonna get. Because it's easy to say I'm studying law because you know lawyers, you know
Yeah.
accountants, you know
Yeah.
doctors, but like someone studies environmental science, like what are they afterwards? An environmental scientist. I don't think
What's
anyone has
that?
ever met an environmental scientist. And I don't think anyone calls themselves an environmental
No one.
scientist. Like no one calls themselves that.
Maybe
So
an environmental consultant, not scientist.
yeah, but like yeah, that's the thing. That you don't have a set career path. So that's another thing with apes that you actually need to be mindful of, that like once you do decide to come into this space, you just have to realize that you do not have a job title. You could end up doing anything, like
Anyway.
literally anything, like anything.
But I feel like that is the beauty of it, because no one tells you where to go, what to do, how to do it. You decide what to make of your life.
But it depends though on how you as an individual views things, because
Yeah.
if you want like just say security, because even when you're applying for jobs, right, you can't, like going back to the point I made about environmental scientists, you can't go and say environmental scientist jobs because you're probably not going to find
What's
anything that's
that?
relevant to you. You need to actually think about all these kinds of things. So it's a very difficult thing. I think it's for brave people or people with knowledge to actually come into a field where you actually do not know where you're going to end up. And also, truth be told, the money is not that great. Like that's one thing you have to realize, that you're not going to buy a Ferrari with the money.
So,
as a,
so it's more about passion than securing the bag.
it's about passion. It's about learning. It's about contributing to society in other ways.
So, given what you just said, would you advise somebody to choose this career field?
Yes, I would. If they are that person. You see, the thing is, you must understand yourself as a person. Like if you know that like you are not willing to do the kind of work that we do, that you're not willing to work hard or sleep in the bush and attend field work for 2 weeks. I've never had to do that, but like, there are people.
That's not all there is to it. You don't have to go.
You don't have to do that, but like the thing is, I'm trying to paint a big picture here, that there are people who go field work for 2 weeks in the bush with no signal, where you live out of a backpack and all that kind of stuff, just to do research, which most people do not even understand. They don't understand why you have to go out and study plants or animals or the environment or water or anything that's related to this field. Like they don't understand why you have to particularly do it, because these projects are like, should I say, they're so abstract, right? But like once you put it all together and you see the bigger picture, they're actually very important to people's day-to-day lives. Because like I'll use example with like my master's project, for example. I was studying grasslands in Mpumalanga. Like why would someone go and study grasslands in Mpumalanga? How?
Grass. Let's start there. Grass. Why? Grass.
And then you wonder, like, why is that even important? But then now, if someone tells you that 50% of the country's water comes from there, so if anything was to happen in that part of Mpumalanga for those grasslands, the rest of the country does not have water.
And you're like,
Especially Johannesburg, which is the third biggest economy in Africa. In Africa, Gauteng, because not just South Africa. And you think about it that way now, you understand that, oh, this actually does have an impact on my own day-to-day life. So that's the kind of work that we do as environmental scientists. It's not necessarily, I don't think anyone will win a Nobel Prize for this.
I mean, people do.
Yeah, but like if we're being honest, it's not like chemistry or physics and stuff like that, where these guys make these huge major discoveries that like change the world and stuff. Like our work is important, but it's always in the background of like the bigger picture.
Yeah. It's the little things that we do that end up having the most contribution. But people don't see that because it's not something that's huge that you can see on TV. Oh my God, this person discovered this and stuff like that.
And it's not as fascinating as, like I say, chemistry. Like if you see like a chemistry experiment, you think of a chemistry lab, you know what a chemistry lab looks like on the inside. Even if you do not do it, like you just know that they mix chemicals. By the way, it's not like that.
Which is
You don't
why
actually get explosions and stuff like that.
which is why in most cases when they're like, oh, careers in science, they'll show you like chemistry.
Yes, they will show
But
you
not
chemistry and a
necessarily
lab coat and
biology.
stuff. And we don't wear lab coats.
We
just
don't wear lab
shorts
coats.
and flip flops and
And hats.
yeah, that's all we do. And go dig in the field and yeah.
and identify plants along the way.
Not everyone does that, guys.
I
Like,
do that.
But like what I'm saying is you just have to find your space. I guess that's the most exciting part about this. You find your space that
Yeah.
you enjoy.